Hey YouTube, Rinky Dink. Got some MacBaron Navy Flake. Smoked it for the first time yesterday. I've been having problems doing some uploads since New Year's Eve. I tried 3 separate videos on 3 separate occasions multiple times. So I finally whined about it in my community post and Scott came in. So it's probably just the holidays, bro. Who knows, but YouTube tends to be overwhelmed around the holidays, which makes complete sense. So I'm hoping that's the case, but it seems like I couldn't upload anything over 12, 15 minutes. And I didn't realize that my phone did 4K from the front face where I can see myself and record in 4K. So I'm gonna try that out. 4K at 30 frames. Anyways, real quick, I'm going to make this somewhat quick in the hopes that I can actually get this uploaded. Long overdue shout out. I wanted to tell J&D's Pipe Dreams. I love that name. It's so marketing. The marketing is brilliant in that name. I'm sure most of you are aware of him. I'll put his description or a link to his channel down in the bucket. But he has a couples content YTPC channel. It's him and his wife. They do a lot of lives. They're super warm, good vibey, awesome people. And he's got a lot of knowledge and some fun lives. And I just wanted to give him a shout out. I try to shout out everyone that goes out of their way to mention me. Not because I want people to mention me, but just to reciprocate and do the right thing. So thank you, J&D's Pipe Dreams. I appreciate you both very much. Y'all are a cute couple. And any woman that'll, kick back with her husband and smoke a pipe is a keeper. So very cool. Other than that, instead of rattling on for 15 to 30 minutes, I've decided to do some pipe tobacco journaling to help narrow down the blends I really like. I found that a lot of the Periques are hurting me. It's just a little too sharp. And I'd like to narrow down, well, there's a lot of tobaccos I'd like to narrow down, don't we all? It takes time and money and it takes a lot of time. But the 2 types of tobaccos I really want to narrow down are those that I like immediately out of the tin, like one I just tried, which was a Rango Bulk and Supreme. Right out of the tin, I like that. Then I want to narrow down the tobaccos that I like with a lot of age. And I think a lot of the vapors, like a Scudo Navy Deluxe, and even the Orlick Golden Sliced. It's not quite as bad as the Scudo. It's a little too sharp for me, and I feel like 5 to 7 years in the cellar will fix that problem for me, because a lot of what I'm getting, a lot of hints and properties out of those vapors I really like. It's just a little too sharp. It's kind of like, I like spicy food. If I throw too much spice in a taco or in a soup, it gets to a point where it's no longer enjoyable. It's cutting me. It's just so spicy I can't appreciate any of the other ingredients in that food. So I liken that to certain tobaccos. It's like it's got a lot to offer, but at that same time it's a little too spicy, a little too peppery, it's a little too sharp, and I love a good retrohale for 2 reasons. 1, it gives me a bigger nick hit. And 2, it helps me distinguish a lot of those individual properties in that particular tobacco. So I decided I'm just going to use one of my tool binders, and I'm going to list all the tobaccos I have. I'm going to have a breakdown on each one, obviously the individual tobaccos in that. And anything that's proprietary to that tobacco that I think is important, like if the Cavendish is different in that particular tobacco. And then I'm just going to journal every time I smoke a tobacco, and it'll kind of keep me on track as to what it is I smoked last time, what I've been smoking over the last week. And I'm just going to do a basic general synopsis over what I liked about the tobacco, what I didn't like about the tobacco, what I think, just my thoughts on it. Because I think what's happening is I'm spending money on tobaccos that are very similar to other tobaccos I have that may be causing me problems or are just very similar. You know, I really want to get out there and experience. Like, for instance, I smoked the Mac Baren Navy Flake yesterday. You know, it's Virginia. I can't remember if it's yellow or red or both, but it's got Virginia, it's got some Burley, and it has some Mac Baren proprietary Cavendish in it. So that's where I'd write that down. I don't know what makes it a proprietary Mac Baren Cavendish, but I've heard people say, hey, I don't see any Cavendish in here, and maybe that's why it's considered a proprietary form of it, because it doesn't stand out the way other ones do. Or maybe it's not even in here and that was just a wrong description. The point is, had I been journaling, I would have known to try out a blend like this, to try some other blends without the perique in it. And that may rapidly increase the pace at which I find tobaccos I like, and it'll keep me from spending money on tobaccos that are traditionally, or that have a probability of giving me problems. Look at that! 6 in almost 7 minutes. Man, I did it! All right, well, that's it, YTPC. I'm going to enjoy some Navy Flake here. It's overcast, but it feels good out here. It's chilly. We got a little bit of wind, so I like that too. I'm going to enjoy this, and hope everyone had a great New Year and New Year's Eve. And bye for now. Let's pass.